Morning, and welcome to another edition of Real Talk Live. This is your host, Professor Tinker. An awesome Thursday. My Lord, the week is just gone already. Another Thursday morning, so we're gonna have in studio with us today the F&M chairman, the F&M national chairman, which is above all the chairmans, His Eminence Sidney Colley will be joining us today to talk about what the F&M is gonna do. And since the bell is rung and we have an election date set, going to give us the full rundown on the ins and outs of the F&M and all that the F&M has to offer, and why should you vote for the F&M over the DNA, the PLP, the UDP, the BNCP, and any other D out there. He's going to tell you why. He'll be joining us here in due course. But other than that, as all the other shows we've been doing so far, we definitely taking it up a notch. We want to become the number one show here in the Bahamas. I mean, I'm not going to reach to the globe as yet because our population is so small. So we're going to try to do our best to give you the best critical investigatorial interviews. I just ask the questions and I allow them to answer the way they can, and based on their answers, you guys can make a decision whether they're short-changing you, hoodwinking you, or bamboozling you. My boy there, Howard Johnson there, somewhere there in Florida, Mr. Bamboozle, who has bowed out of the race to go and take care of some family issues. I want to send a shout out to family in Palm Beach, family down there in Fort Lauderdale, buddies up in St. Louis, Missouri, South Carolina, North Carolina, over there in Alaska, Texas, the Greater Bahamas. I want to give a shout out to Julian Smith over there at New Life. The guy saved my life this week. I don't know where my laptop charger went, but on the last minute request, Mr. Julian Smith there was able to come up with something and allow me to do my work and save these questions that I had for Sidney Colley, all 200 questions. So, it was all framed around an awesome interview. I want to say thank you again, Julian Smith, and keep up the good work over there at New Life. He should be joining us pretty soon here while we'll be promoting his business, and everybody can go over to New Life and get healthy. I think I went over there the other time. I had a little drizzle or a little snizzle, and his wife came up with a little snizzle jizzle, and it was all organic, but she knocked my taste buds right out of my mouth. But in 3 hours, I was feeling a whole lot better. I wasn't snizzle, twizzle, dizzling anymore. So I want to say thanks again, Mr. Smith, for your good work. But as I was driving, on my route coming in today, the roads look pretty smooth. No congestion. I want to thank the police commissioner if he's the one that has been answering my calls when I call out. Anyone there at the police department that's been adhering to some of the things I've been saying, making the streets safe in the Bahamas, I want to say thank you. Over there at NAD, Nassau Airport Development, a few times that I came back in the airport, I didn't see those dirty looking trucks. So thank you if you decided not to have those trucks sitting in the front of a world-class airport. According to the Prime Minister last night or the other day, the Nassau Linden LPI Airport is considered to be one of the best in the region. So with that said, NAD, buy some new vehicles now, and keep them things looking good. Or just bring them out at night. There's ain't no tourists coming there at night. You can clean up at night. But other than that, thanks for doing your best over there. And we had an interesting conversation yesterday with Mr. Georges as I tried to get some recognition for the 3 Bahamians that went off to the that was sponsored by the U.S. Department of State to represent the Bahamas. And as you probably would have heard from my intervention and conversation with the ministry there, that they're not too big on promoting Bahamians that would have went off and represented their country. I mean, you don't have to be an Olympian to get such recognition. Anybody that goes off, whether it's academic, whether it's research, whether it's leadership, or whatever it takes, there's always an opportunity to applaud Bahamians. All right, whether it's just a little email or a little thank you, a handshake, stop by the office, let me see you. It's the simple little things like that that matters the most. Because in many cases, ain't nobody looking for anything. So a little, little lookout, little shout out, little email, little letter signed by the PM. Believe me, those things will make citizens feel that they're a part of something. But to go unrecognized, like how we have seniors in this country that are constantly going unrecognized, we got civil servants that are constantly going unrecognized for the things that they've done because they can't get paid on time. Teachers that go unrecognized because they can't get the resources they need to be successful in the classroom. Students that go unrecognized because they're still sitting in condemned buildings. I mean, what's the deal? I mean, we all gotta, take our role and play to make this Bahamas a better place. But in the studio, I'm gonna have DJ Reg look up the applaud effect, and we're gonna applaud these people and we're gonna recognize them. Did you find that there, my brother? So let's just give them an applaud right now if you can find that. We'll wait in the interim. But in due time, we will celebrate Bahamians here, especially the World War II veterans, because I'm an Army guy, so I like to do an interview with them. And on behalf of them, I'm going to write to the Prime Minister. I'm going to reach out to Her Majesty, the Queen Elizabeth II, and get some sort of recognition, whether it's stipend, whether it's a medal of their service and the fact that they're still alive. They're not going to be around for much longer, and we need to appreciate these people. Also, I'm going to be on a campaign to appreciate anyone that voted in the elections pre-independence, that made this place an independent sovereign country. It's time that the government officially recognize all these people, not just the parliamentarians like Lyndon Pilden, Milo Butler, etc., etc., etc. We need to recognize everybody that participated in the elections that would have granted us independence, because really they are the true heroes. Because if it wasn't for them, we might have still been a UBP, under the UBP, we might have still been under the Brits. Who knows where we would have been. So here on More 94 FM, your host Professor Tink, I want to congratulate all individuals that are still alive that would have passed, that voted in the elections pre-independence, 1973 elections that allowed this country to be called the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, and to allow us to be a free, independent nation, a flag-bearing nation, a passport-carrying nation. You got it? Go ahead, Reds, give it away. One more time. All right, and that's going for me here at More 94 FM, and we'll continue to do that. We'll continue to applaud good Bahamians that have stood the task, because we got to realize one thing. Here in the Bahamas, no one took arms to fight for independence. The arms they took in battle was the fact that they had the right to vote. Based on that alone, we should be proud of the seniors that are alive today that took part in making this country independent. Unlike many other countries, men had to enlist or be drafted in the military. 8 weeks of boot camp and off the war to fight for independence. Whereas we used to say in the military, our casualty statistic is 10% of the battle force will probably not come back alive. World War II, I think the U.S. lost about 50-something thousand soldiers. Vietnam, 58,000. In the Bahamas, we didn't really lose anybody in the pre-election, the pre-independence bid for election. But here we are in the Bahamas. We continue to underpay these people their pension. We continue to ignore what they would have done for the Bahamas, while we talk all this other nonsense and have these rallies, yet we still have not recognized the true heroes of the Bahamas. We put pictures up on a selected few Bahamians. We put people on the money that are all politicians. But when you can put Granny, Papa, Auntie on the money, these people were victorious. Allow each constituency to put one senior citizen forward that were very impactful in their community, and allow the Prime Minister to invite these seniors for luncheons at the Prime Minister office, or an invitation at the U.S. Embassy, or the Chinese Embassy, or the Brazilian Embassy, to say, hey, these are our heroes. These are our non-political heroes that made this country what it is today. that is allowing you, the U.S. Embassy, to be here in this country, the Brazilian Embassy, the Haitian Embassy. Okay, if it wasn't for them, we would have still been singing Hail to the Queen. So we need to get it right, people. We need to get it right. We need to stop slacking, bulljagging, bull skating, and we need to do this right. We need to give these seniors the recognition they deserve, whether it's monetarily, because I know they'll take it, or another applaud here that we did in More 94. Let's get one more applaud before we go to the break, Reds. Can we do it? And folks, Real Talk Live was brought to you today by Superwash, Kentucky Fried Chicken, Burger King, the Air Conditioning Depot, BTC, stay with a company that connects every island, rock, and key in the Bahamas, National Workers Credit Union, Ergo Car Rental, Water and Sewage Corporation, Stormfree Windows, Bahamian Brewery Company Limited, Drink in Moderation, Wendy's, Marco's Pizza, Popeyes, Paisley Cosmetic Experience, the Paisley Difference, and don't forget to go by, and we have the beef, looking at the hot and juicy burgers, Wendy's, a quarter, a pounder, 3/4 pound of served fresh straight off the grill. Wendy's has beef in all capital letters. What does $19.99 get you? A large zesty 5-cheese pizza, or a large zesty meatball pizza, and a 2-liter bottled soda. Don't miss out this deal. Order online at marcospizza.com. First sandwich is all ready with the Wendy's Premium Cod. Don't forget to go by and get the crunchiest cod of the season. Crunchy cod, dill pickles, and creamy tartar sauce. Wendy's. Now that's better. We'll see you right after these messages. I don't know where Sidney Cawley plane's at. I think his jet's running a little late. See if you could check that. Where's that jet out there, DJ Reds? Where's that jet? I think he's running a little late, folks. So we will patiently wait on that jet because I think he's coming on 747, Boeing F&M 747. So we're going to be waiting here for him. I just heard that. What was that again? Let me hear that. Was that the jet? I think he might be landing now in the middle of Carmichael Road. So we'll be awaiting his appearance here shortly. But at any rate, let me give you a joke while we wait on Sidney Cawley. When I was leaving last week, I was at the JetBlue terminal in Nassau here, and the guy said, so eloquently, "Ladies and gentlemen, we're now boarding JetBlue flight 1919. Please have your passports and your ticket ready for boarding. Again, we are now boarding JetBlue flight." So I went up and I heard it as I was walking towards the JetBlue console, and I heard this nice eloquent voice saying all this stuff. And as soon as I walked up there, and I said, I walk up to him, the first thing came out of his mouth was, "Boy, what you want?" I'm like, "Well, Moto, you just sounded so eloquent." And all of a sudden, you see me, "Boy, what happened?" So I tell him, the guy, "Boy, oh, I'm sorry, sir. We're now boarding flight." It's like, people that look like you, they figure you don't do the same respect as the tourists. As I venture many places here in Nassau, and I go into different establishments, and it's almost like when some Bahamians see or interact with tourists. "Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, how can I help you?" "No, ma'am. You can come right over here, ma'am." As soon as the Bahamian goes, "Man, what you want?" "Man, right over there, man." I said, "What a sick, this how they carrying on?" You just gotta walk around in a foreign, especially if you're black up in here, I think you just gotta walk around with the flag of the country you're from, represent, so you can get that same type of response. Because I mean, you could be a white Bahamian and you walk around. I think the chances of you getting excellent customer service is extremely better than that of a black Bahamian, because they think you're one of them. "Boy, what you want, boy?" I mean, if you get a formal, like you go to the jewelry store, as I ventured, just to look around, and you just hear them interacting with the tourists. "Yes, sir. Would you like that? Would you like a bag to go with that? And it's going to be check, cash, or card." You go in there, they see you. "Boy, we ain't gonna lay away, We ain't gonna lay away, Everybody watching you, including the security. I mean, I'm telling you, man, we gotta ease up on stereotyping our own people, because we ain't gonna get nowhere with that. But anyhow, as we wait on Mr. Cawley, wherever that jet is right now, just let's talk in general. Anyhow, I heard yesterday on the radio, I think it was one of the stations there, this, I guess, former F&M Canada minister or whatever his position was, Shavago Lang, discussing some report that he would have drafted about the, I guess, murder rates, either from the 60s or the 70s all the way up to 2016, and I guess 2017. And his report is suggesting that every time that there was a hanging, every time there was a hanging, the murder rate went down. Okay, and I guess, the substance of his argument is that, capital punishment works. And I agree, capital punishment is a deterrence to a certain point, but his report alone, it's really missing multiple elements. That's why I always say, let the people with the experience in these fields do the things and investigate these things, because you can't. One thing his report did not factor in was the fact that a population increase from, I think, like I said, I could be wrong on these dates, but I think he went as far as back as 1960. Well, the population dramatically changed from 1960 to 2017. Furthermore, in many cases, some people would say the population might have tripled. Furthermore, the increase of weapons has increased by 1,000%. The variety of different drugs has increased. social norms would have changed in the last 40 years. The influx of immigrants from all over the different places would have changed. The culture and the social economics of the Bahamas would have changed. So all these things are mitigating reasons and variables for the trend of crime. So to not consider those factors in there, and you write this paper suggesting that if you would have hanged someone in 2015, the murder would have dropped 32%, is just unscholarly, because there's no data in that report, there's no further research and the additional variables to control an outcome like that. So with that said, I would say very poor research. To even publish something like that is unscholarly. But again, I'm not calling a guy a scholar, but sometimes people think they just know too much. But at either rate, we definitely have a problem here in crime. This week we would have talked to a variety of people in the studio, including Dr. Higgs, Belinda Wilson, and then yesterday we had Luby Georges, and Luby Georges shed some light on immigration. I'm going to open the phone lines until Mr. Cawley comes in, if he ever shows up, but we'll open the lines, and if you guys have any questions or concerns about anything that's going on or your comments on the show, feel free to call us at 341-6673. I'll do this if we have, by the time he gets here, if we got the fifth caller calls in, I'm just going to give away something today. Today is Giveaway Thursday. So anyone, who wants to chime in real quick before our guests get here, we'll allow you to call in. But, like I was saying, it really, I kept reflecting on what Belinda and what Jacinta would have talked about concerning education, and really that continues to bother me to this day, especially the condemned schools. I mean, for whatever reason, I don't know why, the Prime Minister, the Minister of Education, the whole entire government, to include the Attorney General, which this would be considered criminal to allow these kids to enter a condemned place. I mean, what are we thinking? What's the rationale behind that? Is there a conspiracy to keep 70% of your population, like we normally say, you're dumb, uninformed, uneducated? Because really, if you're sending kids into condemned schools, that speaks volume to what you're really trying to get accomplished in the Bahamas. That speaks volume to how much you really believe in the youth of this country. It speaks volume to what you really believe the role of a Bahamian citizens play. I mean, is the role of a Bahamian citizen just to vote every 5 years? Is the role of a Bahamian citizen, just to show up at rallies and pom-poms, etc.? You got a call? All right, well, let's take this call to see who this is. This is probably Shivago Line calling to dispute his research. Go ahead, caller, you live. You heard that?
But I want to ask you a question, right? Everyone talking about how crime is control and crime is down. Let me ask you. What is crime doing? Crime is doing what it's supposed to do. Wreak havoc, fail. That's what crime does.
Right.
Everyone is acting like there's something magical or strange that's happening. This is what crime does. Now, when you look at the other side of the crime, the people who you hire to fight crime, you need to ask, what are they doing?
Right.
See, no one is looking at it from that point of view. Crime is going to do whatever it does. That's what crime does.
Well, I'm going to keep you on the line. Let me manifest what you're saying. Crime is a manifestation of the situation, which is the situation in the Bahamas is lack of opportunities, undereducation, the need to better your life, and almost congested communities. Crime's going to manifest from all these things.
All of that, but I'm saying to you, it doesn't matter what the offspring would cause the crime. Crime is doing what crime does.
Right, but you can deter criminal activity. You can never solve crime, but you can deter it.
Right, so I'm saying to you, what are the people who in shot? I hear the FNM has a crime plan, right? I heard the PLC has a crime plan. Have 30 Commission of Police Crime Plan.
Well, he puts the forward. I think he puts forward, is it a crime policy, or he puts something forward? But I always say to Commissioner Greenslade, if you're putting these documents forward, I think it's a crime. I think it's a crime plan. Crime plan. I've read it and compared it to Jamaica, Trinidad, Barbados, U.S. crime plans, UK crime plans, and one important element is missing out of his crime plan. Is called quantitative data. Where are the numbers? Where are the numbers to tell the Ministry of National Security, listen, I need 20 more police cars. I got 300 cops retiring. Here's my replacement numbers. I got 50 guys in the academy. They'll be on the streets then. I need this. I need that. I don't see that in the crime plan.
Okay, now I went online and I read over his crime plan.
Did you find any data?
No. I know he wants a helicopter, right?
He wants a helicopter to do what?
I tried to sit down and watch it. What do you want a helicopter? I'm like you, right? I own a business, so I sit down and I do something. If I need to hire people, I look at it. Okay, the positions are opening up, right?
Right.
This is what I do. This course, this is an example of this is how it should be done.
Right.
Don't tell me you're hiring children to be government. I look at right now the very time you have in the ground, what these things to buy armed weapons, right?
Right.
But as a business owner, I can tell you that's white collar crime. Armed weapons is a joke.
Right.
For what is employee theft. The main person on you is cyber crime. So when you tell me you're doing prison research, person could be coming and coming to a skill that can go to work straight away.
Right.
How many of them know how to use a computer? How to investigate fraud? How many of them have a degree in finance and accounts? Something that you can use right away to combat the rise in crime that is happening. I don't want to get grabbed 30 persons on the street, major police officers, and they're walking the beat.
And I always ask the question of, are these guys really signing up to protect and serve, or they just signed up for a government job? You know, a government job, or you signing up to protect and to serve?
That's a part of it, but my thing is, when you sit down and your business, and right now you look at the fraud and the employee scams and cyber crime, right, those commercial crimes that are really happening. And if you look at the general police force, not many police officers are equipped.
No.
It's individual. And the one that you have enough.
Right.
So you recruit persons with specialized skills. And you cannot bring people into a bachelor's or a master's degree in account for a CPA and then he has to walk to the soil first.
Right.
You have some time to get past that whole communion mindset.
I still don't know why they wear that old British. I mean, you know, when I take up a Hammond police officer and I look at it, okay, and I'm a law-abiding citizen, but I look at some of these 90-pounders that I saw out there at the rallies. I mean, they're about 90 pounds, 95 pounds. The uniform is swimming on some of them. They have their belt gear, no gun, no handcuff, no radio, but they have this belt of all the things that they should have. Just the sight of them alone, there's no deterrence. They don't have that deterrent look.
But so you can't blame them.
No,
Okay.
you can't blame them. It's basically
leadership.
It's leadership. It's what you bringing on the force. Are you just filling boots? Or are you trying to get the best of the best in the country to accomplish a mission?
That's the problem. Okay, I own my business. I set the tone in my business. I have a uniform requirement. I have a code of conduct requirement, and that's my business.
Right.
My customers expect certain things from me, so I set the tone. My thing is, in my business, the most important part of what I do is my employees, my human resources. I invest in my employees. Training, retraining, constantly updating them on what's happening, what you have to do, what's changing. I don't see that in the police force. I always hear them talk about the cars and the this and the that, but you never hear about what they are doing to further the officers' success.
I totally agree with you, but thanks a lot, caller, for calling in, and please continue to listen.
All right,
Thank you, take care. Well, you know, the call, we got another call? Oh, we're about to, all right, well, listen, as we, I guess, after this break, I'm just gonna call it and basically, you know, decide that Mr. Colley, we consider him a no-show today, and just continue on with whatever the, public wants to discuss, and whatever position I'm gonna take. We'll be right back after these brief messages. Real Talk Live, your host Professor Tinker. I still have an empty seat, no F&M chairman, but let's take this call. Oh, welcome. Am I ready? Yeah. Caller. Caller, go ahead, you're live. Caller's gone. Alrighty. So at any rate, morning, sir. How are you? Good, man. I was waiting for a grill and chill and pulling some teeth today, but I didn't show up. Yeah. You know, good. Right. Right.
So let's get line. How you work on Wall Street, any street, Brooklyn Avenue, Paris, London, no. I'm like, find a job here.
Right.
It tells you he's not qualified to mental finance.
Right.
Let's look at William Allen. He didn't work on Wall Street. He was at J.C. Penney, headquarters. Judith Francis worked in Switzerland. C.S. Smith, same thing. They are worked in a conglomerate of companies that move billions around the world. So finding a job, it's not, I mean, it's like finding, it's like getting cake.
Right.
So I don't know why they put him in that position that he was in. Because of a prime minister's favorite man.
I guess there's always a bunch of, that's why I always said, you know, we need to reflect our ministers on their skill to run these ministries, but here we think that the minister doesn't have to have knowledge in the ministries running, which I think that's totally backwards.
Even the new minister now, what's his name, the young guy?
Alcides?
Yes, what is his bio?
Well, I mean, he has at least he has a degree in accounting. That's I gave when I graded them. I think I gave him 3/4 of a point. At least he has one in accounting. Whereas Lang had a degree in agribusiness. You know, juggling tomatoes.
Listen, your degree is where have you worked?
Yeah, well, that too.
Are you from Goldman Sachs? You work with the door.
Right.
Let's look at Obama man, Tim Geithner.
Right.
He's a big investment banker. Look at Trump partner, Steve Munch. He was partner at Goldman Sachs.
Right.
He's a billionaire. Money's in front of him. Let's look at his Thomas with Ross. They are all they dream fast, they think fast. So it's like these people ain't got no global experience. But they go carry on this big job like where the walk, where they going? Think up. Do you know where our money's kept?
Consolidated fund, they say.
Do you know where that is?
I have no idea.
And Social Security and Royal Bank. That's a security risk.
Total risk. Total risk. I agree with you with that.
If we don't know, Royal Bank people know where the money is.
Right.
That's the total national risk that our money is kept in the Royal Bank of Canada, a foreign bank. That's a shame.
Yeah, they don't even trust Bahamians to invest their own money, is what you're saying.
Yes. I've heard, and then some is kept at Bank of the Bahamas. You know, that's other things we all get about it there. But they just give a little bit of Bank of the Bahamas, but the most of it is kept in Royal Bank, which is a private bank. But I know what the Royal Bank knows what to put in and what to take out. And if the money reach,
Right.
sometimes it don't reach.
I totally hear you, Robert. It's just that, you know, I think Bahamians have just become content the way the things are, and they're just trying to survive in this content society.
I mean, have you heard one American say the Treasury learned where the money going? But it's going to jail.
Oh, totally. I mean, you know, and I always say, you know, people say, listen, I said, yeah, America could be corrupt, but wherever the corruption is, it really don't affect directly the little man. But they still impeach presidents, send congressmen, senators, and governors to jail. Mayors go to jail. I mean, they go to look at the governor in Illinois. Just for trying to sell Barack Obama's seat, he got 17 years.
Yeah, see, look at all big man like him.
17 years.
Yeah.
They had the governor of Virginia. All he did, they sent him and his wife to jail for taking a gift. I think his wife got a dress, And he got some gift, and they both of them went to jail.
Look at what's my name? Jesse Jackson.
Jesse Jackson's son, yeah.
Every what? Go on and get locked up. Play him with champion money. Play him with champion money. Look now. You watch Britain. You watch the one there. What's his name? Liborn, right?
Right.
So let's some of that. What that white payment done with all the money they made? The government don't make them pay it back, right?
Right.
They give nothing for. Let's look at Rockefeller, Howard Hughes, Gates, right?
Right.
The money in the trusts.
Right.
They have to give some back to the poor.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't pay that what? Estate tax right there, right?
Yeah, these fellas down here, they ain't giving nothing back. They wouldn't even adopt a library or a road or a highway. They ain't into that.
And they make millions and millions of dollars, and they dead to give that back to the poor.
Yeah.
You know, give that back like they want power now. But it's so wrong. They died. They born poor, you know, but they master straight without because they're white. Let's look at this whole deal. It's a bad deal they can put on us. Every container before the whole deal, they got $10.
Wow.
Now 50 years.
Wow.
Most of them will live here.
Wow.
Every container for 50 years, that ain't gonna be them that 10% of the money investment for 50 more years. That's a bad deal they put on us.
And we need, and that's why whoever is the new government coming in really needs to review and cancel along these long-term.
No, if you change it, you gotta pay them all these $100 million.
Buddy, Ingram ain't the prime. Ingram ain't the, listen. Ingram ain't the prime minister no more. So whoever's the new prime minister coming in has the
He put clauses in there. If you break the law, if you break the link, you gotta pay. Like they didn't keep when he did BTC.
Right.
It's not a poison pill.
Right.
The BTC, I did it for the poor developer deal. That's a bad big. And then listen, he get a mind for control too. We paid up the money that poor deal. We paid the white payment to manage it.
Right. Well, all right, Robert, man. Thanks for your contribution.
All right.
How's that speaker?
Hey, oh, fine. Let me give you a prophecy. You will start a company. And do you know when the company's gonna name?
What?
King of Courier Service. you know what's right?
Right.
Bring me for Powerball tickets. Go to Walmart. Go to Prize Mart. Yeah, shop just though. But it's charge us.
All right,
King of
brother.
Courier Service.
All right, man. Thanks a lot, Robert.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, listen, I've been looking at, and I think I discussed this a while back before, gas prices in this country. I think I did a whole show on that to discuss that. You know, the gas prices in the Bahamas is ridiculous. I think back in 2010 I would have discussed, you know, I'm glad actually I have this up in my email. In February 2016, gas in the Bahamas was $3.85. Someone pull up their phone calculator, please. All right, it was $3.65. And I think DJ Reds, why don't you pull up a mic there, brother? You said gas today is $4.16. You said you went to the gas station today is $4.16.
Yeah, up to yesterday was.
After yesterday was $4.16,
Yeah,
so
Thursday
316.35 plus 16, that's 11, boom, so 51 cents. So from February 10th of 2016 to whatever the day is, 2017, there's a difference of 51 cents at the pump, an increase of 51%. Now, in February 10th of 2016, crude oil was trading at $27.45. You wouldn't believe this, folks. Crude oil was trading at $27, okay, and 45 cents a barrel, right? So basically, and that was in 2016. There are 42 barrels in a gallon, which would give you roughly 65 cents a gallon. Let's take a look at what crude oil is trading at today. I just had it up here. Okay, now just watch this, folks. In February 10th, 2016, less than a year ago, it was $27.45. Today, crude oil is trading at $51.73, almost 100% increase. How in the world gas could go up almost 100%, and at the pump, gas only went up 51 cents. Think about that for a second. Gas goes up almost 100%. The price of crude oil goes up 100%. But at the pump, gas only increased to 51 cents. Now you would say, oh, our gas guys are hooking us up because gas went up 100% and they only went up 51 cents. No, look at it deeper. When the gas was $27.45, gas should have never been $3.65. And now that gas is $51.73, it shouldn't have been $4.16. The gas prices here, for one reason, are very controlled. And it's controlled in the pennies. Because ain't no way, when gas was $27 and crude oil was $27.45, would equal to 65 cents a barrel. I mean a gallon. We should have been paying $3.65 a gallon. And today, it's $51.73. Okay, a barrel. Let's divide that by 42 barrels. See, here is the calculator here. What we got here? 51.73 divided by 42 comes out to put the wrong sign. Okay, that's quite important. Divide comes up to $1.23 a gallon. Okay, I mean that's almost double in price, and yet at the pump it's a difference in 51 cents. Let me tell you one major reason why gas is controlled here. Before you even go to the gas station, the Bahamian government gets roughly $1.61 a gallon. You ain't even in pump a gallon of gas yet. You don't owe the Bahamian government, which goes in, I guess, the consolidated fund, roughly $1.61. So just going to the gas station, you better come with $1.61. So to get a penny worth of gas, you need $1.62 to buy a penny worth of gas. Now, if this is not a tax on the backs of the poor man, it's ridiculous. With the introduction of VAT, this surcharge existed prior to VAT. One reason for the introduction of VAT is because VAT was supposed to be charged on everything, on roughly everything. This is excise tax, which should have reduced the burden of other taxes at the ports on import duties, and reduce taxes, in some cases eliminate taxes on many things that Bahamians would use. But yet, you still have this fuel tax. You're still paying duty on a lot of things when you bring things in the country. So now the government would have all sorts of money. Fuel tax alone per year is equivalent to roughly $350 million a year in fuel. Okay, and just in surcharge. You could imagine $350 million. If the government would reduce the surcharge, let's say by 61 cents, and just collect $1 per gallon, we would have roughly, rough number, the government could inject back into the economy $150 million. And you gotta understand this, folks. Let me show you how this gas thing really can affect the entire economy. If you reduce the cost of fuel at the pump, let's say by 61 cents a gallon, or if they really believe in you and they really like you, they'll just give you the whole $1.61. Okay? $4.16 minus $1.61 a gallon. Alright? Let's just work that out here for you. We won't give you accurate numbers here today, man. Alright? You know, I came with my suit and everything, and I can't believe this chairman ain't show up, eh? Boy, I tell you. Gas could be at the pump today $2.55 a gallon. Now, if any Bahamian don't want $2.55 a gallon, please call the radio show. Let's give you a psychological evaluation. If $2.55 is not good for you, Bahamian, if you don't think $2.55 is beneficial to you, let me show you how this is going to benefit you. If you're driving a Honda Accord, that tank will take about 15 gallons if you empty. Let me show you what that will save you. Let me show you what $1.61 will do for you. $1.61 times 15 gallons. On every fill up, you would have saved $24.15. Okay? Let's times that by 4 times if you would fill up. That's $96.60 more money in your more money to you every month if you fuel up 4 times. I wouldn't even talk about the bus drivers. Those tanks got to be about 40 gallons. Okay, so bus drivers out there, if you're listening to this, 40 gallons times 1.61, you're saving roughly $64.40 on the fill up. And you probably fill up, I would say probably every day. What do you think, Reds?
Yeah.
About every day? Let's times that by 30 days. You'll be saving roughly $1,932 a month. Now, what could you do with $1,932 a month? Let's multiply that by 12. That's $23,184. That's more than minimum. That's double the minimum wage. You could actually pay 2 people bus driver to work for you. You could pay your helper that collects the money on the bus. Let's divide that by 12. Divide that by 4. You can pay that dude $483 a week. Now, who would want to be on a bus getting a paycheck of $483 a week just to collect money? People in the bank ain't making that kind of money. That's $483 a week. But you're giving it to the government. This is overtaxation, overburden, which keeps the people down. There's no reason right now. Fuel is trading at $51.73. Gas should be $4.16 in the Bahamas. Now, at the lowest point of when fuel dropped, which would have been like $19 and change, in the Bahamas, we were still paying $4 a gallon. When gas went at the highest, which was $100 and something a barrel, we were paying around $5 and change. When it dropped by 90%, you were still paying $4 and change. So, where are we buying fuel from? Are we buying fuel where the rest of the world's buying fuel from? That the prices can't go down? So it's just ridiculous. These are the things politicians should be talking about. How it's going to affect your bottom line. Do you really think people are concerned with rent to own? And you really think people are concerned with an over-the-hill, money-back guarantee, tax-free zone? Why should I worry about a tax-free zone when I ain't got no money in the first place? How you gonna make me a businessman and I ain't got $2 in the bank? That just don't make any sense. It just don't make any sense. And these are the conversations that we really need to have. Why we're being levied so much taxes? And VAT was supposed to repeal a lot of these taxes. Supposed to actually remove the import duty taxes on a lot of things. Actually bring it down to actually totally eradicating it. Now, if some chartered accountant out there, or some PLP, or some VAT expert can call and tell me different, I would literally shut up. But someone has to explain this to me. I mean, because this just don't make any sense whatsoever. And then we got to look at the type of fuel that is coming into the country. When I see the black smoke coming out of the back of these buses, the smoke is so black, it only can tell me one thing. It's not good quality diesel. It has to be something called red diesel. Now, bus drivers, if you're listening out there, call in and tell me the color of the diesel that you're putting in your bus. If it's red diesel is for farm equipment only. It's considered to be off-road diesel. Red diesel will destroy the injectors in your diesel engine. It will gum up your diesel fuel filter. It will gum up your entire fuel system because it's not designed for that purpose. It's designed for a big John Deere tractor, a big Komatsu loader. It's designed for heavy equipment. But yet, we're putting them on the road, and we have this black fumes coming out of these buses. And yet we're paying a premium for diesel, which off-road diesel right now in Florida sells for about $1.40 a gallon. Regular diesel, which is like crystal clear, which is called clean diesel, sells for $2.30 a gallon. You got clean diesel and you got dirty diesel, and then you got off-road diesel. We're using off-road diesel. Same thing with the gasoline. You got E85, which is 100% ethanol. You got 87, 89, 93. Some places gonna have a 91, which 87 is unleaded. 89 would be premium unleaded, and 91 would be super unleaded, which is the higher octane. Reds, what do we got here? We got 87 or we got an 89?
Probably 87.
Probably 87. So again, what do you got there, brother? Why don't you chime into the show, man? Sit down there and tell us what you got. You put gas in your motorcycle. What do you put in your motorcycle?
I would hope it's at least 87.
Oh, so you don't look at it and see?
It's not there.
It's not there.
No.
It's not posted.
Really? They don't have it posted?
No.
No way. Could we call a gas station?
You don't have to call. I'll run across there. I take a
Ta-
picture of the
you
pump
wanna take a
and
picture?
bring it back.
What? What's
The
it
only
even-
thing that's posted is the current gas price.
The grade of the fuel is not posted.
No.
Folks, let me tell you something. If you open your gas tank door and you read the information there, it will tell you the minimum fuel octane that's required. Especially if you're driving a Mercedes Benz, the minimum high grade octane is a 91. And when you see a Mercedes start putting and cold starting and ain't cranking, you're putting the wrong fuel in there. So they're not required to post the fuel.
But we don't know if it's required, or if it is required, they're not doing it.
I gotta look into that. I wonder if that comes under Ministry of Agriculture or something. I gotta figure that one out. These gas stations, I'm here at Mo 94. We're gonna investigate that because the customer should know the grade of fuel that they're being put into the car, because some high performance cars require higher octane. Lower performance car can take a lower octane because you can go that fast. But I think it's almost criminal that you don't know what you're putting in the car.
Yeah, at some point, sometime back, you used to have an option. There used to be like premium and then unleaded.
Right.
But now it's just one pump,
No option.
no options. So you don't even know what you're putting in there.
Wow.
Yeah.
There's gas.
It's like gas.
and I can't believe, we're in this Bahamas, we're settling for this. We're settling for, and the funny thing is, we travel abroad all the time. Bahamians go to the flea market, Bahamians go to Florida, they go to Canada, they go to New York. They go all over the place. Why in the world no one's talking about this? I just don't get it. Why are we so content with backwardness? You know what backwardness breeds to? And whatlessness breeds to? The few people will make a lot of money. When you're whatless. The term of the day is whatless. Let's take that call, DJ Reds. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, how are you?
Good.
First time calling to your show.
Thank you. You're calling on a whatless day, but go ahead.
Yes, the state pumps are set with three buttons that you can press that gives you the different octane.
87, 89, and 93.
Right, but over here they only have one button you can press at the pump.
Right.
The octane is not registered on the pump.
You wouldn't want to know, sir, what octane you put into your car?
Yes, I would like to know what prices I'm paying for when I pass the gas station like in the States.
Right.
Like they post something, okay, then you get $2.99 per gallon at this BP or Exxon or Mobil or what have you.
Right.
So you could make a choice on what gas station to go to would have the lowest price.
Right.
But they don't have them posted. You have to actually go to the gas station and see what is there, or you have to listen to a radio station that is giving out the prices, and then you make a decision.
Wow.
But the caller that called before you, when you was talking about these things, he won't get down on everybody, but he's not talking about what is actually going on today.
Right.
And that's wrong what you talk about.
Right,
Okay?
right.
But you want to talk about bad, but everybody from a different part of the government, and he's not talking about the previous government that's doing more harm than anything than the previous government.
So what do you think of some things that the previous government would have done that this government's currently paying for?
Well, they work on and on time together sometimes,
Mhm.
They get together with some contracts, and they get together with some contracts, they stop some contracts, they will go on with some contracts, and some people want to leave a legacy.
Right. Do you think the Bahamian society is just content the way things are?
Yes, they are content. They are very contented. They're not trying to fight for what is rightfully the form for them.
Right. And so you would like to see, would you like to see a breakdown or the octane rating at the pumps, so you know what you're paying for?
I'd like to see a breakdown of everything what's going on in the country, but they don't post them.
Right. Well, you
They're
got.
supposed to be at a freedom of mark and all this, and they supposed to declare how much assets they have before elections and all this. They don't even do that.
Well, I guess a lot of people just ain't fighting for it, man. It's just ridiculous that we just allow everything just to go, 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 go. I mean, to tell you the truth, at one point, you're gonna hit a wall. I mean, there's only so much the human can take because, you know, when the bourgeoisie class, which is the rich class, continue to make all the money, you kill the middle class, and the poor people continues to get poor, what do you think's gonna happen? What do you think's gonna happen?
Chaos.
Right, do we need to do that? Do we need to go there?
No, we don't need to go there.
So it's time that people really utilize their votes and drop these party colors, because going to these rallies is like going to like to a voodoo prayer.
I know growing back in the day, you know, when we could have voted, then we started voting. I used to hear people coming on some buses saying that they started to vote for a party, they will not be living in their home.
Wow.
And I think it's still on them to stay. And that's been the previous government there for like 40 years.
Wow. Well, listen, call everybody, go to a break. Listen, thanks for
Okay.
calling in, man, and I'm gonna see if I can fight to get some placards on the fuel station so we know what we're putting in our cars. You might be putting water. Who knows?
Yeah.
We'll be back. want you to call Leslie Miller. I guess he was trying to call.
Yeah.
That's probably what him who
Yeah, that number very different. Rex.
Yeah. Then we'll call Paulie.
33
All right.
Welcome back to Real Talk Live. It's your host, Professor Tinker. Again, you know, we're sitting in an empty chair. Actually, I have an empty red chair inside the studio here, and I think red's the F&M color. And let me tell you something, you know, I'm from a different class, and from a different group. And I'll be honest with you today, I'm quite upset that the F&M chairman did not show up today. Nor did he call to tell me that he couldn't make it, because the appointment was set a few weeks prior. I spoke to him yesterday. He texted me a few minutes before 10. And this speaks volumes to just that type of behavior. And for me, at this point, I don't really matter if you never show up again, because you just, you know, to waste my time like that and waste the listeners' time like that when I announce you that you were coming on the radio, for me, it's unprofessional, it's unethical. I mean, it's not, I wouldn't say unethical, but the etiquette. And to be a national party chairman on the brink of election, man, you do stuff like this, and you're telling the people you want to be the next government of the country, and the chairman can't keep an appointment? Come on, man. What are we doing? What are we doing in the 21st century on the brink of an election where we have high-ranking political figures can't make appointments, don't even come back with a message? You know, it's just that's not too kosher. And,
I mean, if you want to.
I'm gonna be the first one to tell you about it. If feelings get hurt, well, that's your prerogative. And if you don't send any other candidates to the station, well, that's your prerogative too, because airtime is vital right now. We're on the dawn of elections, and you know, that's just the way it is. But we have Leslie Miller, the incumbent party, who wants to have a conversation. My brother.
Morning, I didn't hear from you. You come to somebody get your shoes. You don't tell me your friends, but
Man, look at your WhatsApp, man. I have proof. Look at your WhatsApp. I'm begging you to come on the show. I can tell you the date I sent the request for you to come on the show, because I can't get no other PLP to come on the show. But
you ain't calling me. You got my son. You call me all the time.
I call you, man. I'm trying to tell you now. But here, what we can do. You tell me when you want to come, and I can cancel one of them, somebody else, and put you on. What'd you say?
You look at Tuesday.
All right, awesome. Let's have a conversation.
Yeah, these talking to this too, and everything that you talking to them.
Listen, it's very listen, and you're the champion, Leslie Miller, on the fuel issue.
That Bahamian Jews in their vehicles comes directly from Venezuela through the Gulf Coast. And the trade major oil companies are ripping these people off. They've been doing it. When I was Minister of Trade and Industry, I tried to stop it. We ran direct to Venezuela. We tried to set up the Bahamas National Energy Corporation so that this corporation could purchase the fuel from Venezuela, start the ship there to pick up, we get the invoices. We become down their margins, what they're getting, because they killing the Bahamian people. You know, there's a whole lot to go for that.
So let me ask you something, Leslie. From your experience dealing with this issue, do you know the grade of fuel that we're getting? Of the gasoline at the pump?
It's the lowest grade that they are going to see.
So that's probably an 83 then.
It's the lowest grade that they get. And all they do is change the colors when they come in.
So let me ask you something also. What's the deal with this? Why are we allowing red diesel to be used on public roads?
Why are you allowing what?
Red diesel.
What do you mean red diesel?
The diesel at the pump. I looked at it, the color's red.
Yeah, that is the cheapest form of fuel that you can buy on the market, and that's what the people bring in.
But the Prime Minister just said the other day that he went to some summit about global warming, and how they said if the sea rises 5 feet in the Bahamas, the sea rises 5 feet, we'll lose 80% of the Bahamas.
Okay.
But where's the initiative to bring better quality fuel, more efficient vehicles?
What does the quality of fuel got to do with the tidal rise?
Well, all these things, the fumes that are releasing, they all affect global warming. All these things play into global warming.
Yeah, but not to that extent.
No,
We are so minuscule on that level. Right, we like this.
all right. So you know, as being in the incumbent government, the Bahamian government has a surcharge or excise tax on fuel.
$1.05 per gallon of fuel. That's our biggest income that we generate in customs.
Right, and you think that's okay?
$500 billion a year.
All right, 500 million. So
No, 500, yeah, at least that 500 billion a year.
500 million, and you don't think the government should reduce that?
No, it should not be reduced because what we should reduce is the margins that we're giving the importers and the distributors. That's what needs to be reduced. In Florida, the gas companies, their margins in Florida is 5 to 7%.
Right,
Okay? In Jamaica, it's something like 32 cents
right.
a gallon. Here in the Bahamas, the importers and distributors, I think, now get over $1, and the importer gets about 50 to 60 cents.
So if you would have anything to do with it, what would you?
Supposed to be cutting them by about 30%, 40%.
And who increased it?
The last administration increased it.
So the F&Ms.
Because these guys put pressure on you,
Right,
right? And we always cave in to the pressures of the big fellas.
right.
To the detriment of the average Bahamian.
Right.
That's the normal thing in this country.
Well, you know, Leslie, you always speak for the little man. So, Leslie, is there any rule or requirement on whether the pump should post the octane grade or no?
It is supposed to be, but nobody really followed the rules because the average women only want to go to the gas station, nobody get the gas. They pay these enormous price that is double the price. And what is so disheartening, you go to Miami every week. So you prove it they're paying, which is what we're paying.
Right.
That's why we was trying to stop it as Minister Trade and everything. To go direct. We had a conference on the table from PDVSA. And I should have come to Venezuela. Where for 10 years we'd have been paying less than $3 a gallon for our fuel.
Wow. And under your government, did you guys put any initiative to make it happen?
They couldn't get the guys to go along with it.
Wow. So Leslie Miller, you should run. If we could change who runs for prime minister, man, I think you might win the bid on the popular vote. I think you're a popular guy.
That ain't happening this lifetime. Maybe when I come out.
Well, anyway, Leslie, hey, thanks for calling in, man. I'll definitely reach out to you to schedule you. All right, let me check my calendar. All right, take care. Well, you guys heard it. You heard it from an incumbent minister who was over that area in trade. Our numbers are a little different. I would say that the Bahamian excise tax, or whatever tax they want to call it, fuel, based on the research and the breakdown I would have done, definitely went up. And it's more than $1.10, and I think somewhere in there, they're actually adding VAT onto that. So you're actually paying a little bit more. But at any rate, you heard, Leslie Miller, MP, Tall Pines, saying that he doesn't agree with the high prices of fuel. So what is it going to take? I think we should just boycott fuel and not buy fuel for about a day or two, which will reduce the demand for fuel, and the prices will drop. Because let me show you something right now. High cost of fuel at the pumps affects everything. Let me show you what all it affects. It affects the cost of the jitney service. It affects the cost of the prices of grocery in the grocery stores, because they got to pay someone to pick it up from the boat, who then has to bring it to you. So fuel cost affects everything around the board. Now, I was projected with 300 million. Leslie's saying 500 million. So if we could reduce fuel, we could re-inject back into the economy $250 million. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. We have to look where these pennies and cents make an impact and make a major difference. You see what I'm saying? So at any rate, let's try to call this good gentleman here that stood us up, because I'm still quite upset about that. But, I guess we'll get over it after I leave a message. But at any rate, folks, listen, we have some work to do. Like I said, these are the things that we should really be having the conversation with our elected officials. Because if not, what are the elections really about? Is it about only where the VAT money gone? That's cosmetic stuff that you could deal with once you get in. But other than that, I'll leave a message. But other than that, hello? Wow, I guess he just ran out of minutes. Well, I'm sorry, I can't leave a message for the National Chairman of the Free National Movement, Mr. Sidney Colley, AA, LLB, MP, JP, OBE, and all these other initials. Well, we'll move on. I'm done with that case. All right, we got a phone call. Caller, this call been brought to you by BTC. You're live.
Good day, sir.
Good day, sir.
I'm good day to the Bahamian people in this so-called upcoming silly season.
All right.
Two things I want to deal with. One, I want to say that former minister for whatever portfolio he held in the first Christie regime was spot on in his financial overview of the revenues collected and the margins given to the wholesalers and retailers in the petroleum industry.
You talking about Honorable Leslie Miller?
Yeah.
All right.
Problem is that yes, the rates of duties can be reduced, number one, to ease the burden on the cost of doing business in this country. Also, the margins given to the importers and the retailers, like he said, is far too large, but it's a twofold approach.
Right.
And the one thing that I do, I would warn all talk show hosts to not refer to or even hint or intimate towards is referring to a politician that has occupied the seat of government, either past or present, as looking out for the little man. None has, and none ever will if given the opportunity again. Because, number one, we still don't have a sovereign wealth fund. Number two, no government, past or present, has ever empowered or put together any form of legislation to empower the average Bahamian, and ain't nobody little in this country. There are two things that contribute to poverty: ignorance and laziness. And if you're blessed with the two, heaven help you.
Right. Well, you said it. You said it pretty solid.
We don't need to refer to the average politician that's looking out for the little man. No, you're prognosticating. You are beating your chest like the mighty Kong, and all you're doing is promoting yourself. But
Right.
until the Bahamian people can realize, hey, God is behind these parties, and at the end of the day, I'm going back to an environment where I have to still in a bucket and dig a hole to get rid of it, or defecate in a paper bag and throw it in the dump. That is an existence not fitting an animal.
I hear you.
Never have that in this country. Whether you are immigrant just landing on the boat or a raw born, like they say, Bahamian.
Well, I hear you,
There's
sir.
too much wealth, there's too much opportunities, but when one class, one group, talks this to themselves and defecate on the Bahamian public, they're going to continue to regenerate poverty in this country. And again, sir, no politician looks out for the average man.
Wow. Thank you, sir. Thank you for your contribution. I think we have an honorable steward. What they call those PLPs again? Steward. No, steward councillors. What's the rank? Steward councillors, materialists, mercantilists, members. The honorable, His Eminence, Majesty, folks and gentlemen. Let's give him a round of applause. LH, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. LH.
Hey, Mr. Stingo.
Morning, Mr. LH.
Why do you encourage them to talk to them out there? All these things, the government has a lot of young entrepreneurs right now, and all kind of funding and different things not getting off the ground. Right now, everybody, let me tell you something. You see the opposition right now. The opposition right now ain't out of control from day one. All right, from we take over administration from them, and the country's in a bad state. We have nothing really on the table good right now to put down and what the good promise have done now by building a foundation now to move this country forward. So it can be formed together for the business under the leadership of Perry Glasses, which is every for the radio. They got to come straight in have to go. Everybody up there from day one from Mr. Gucci take office. There's never nothing good said, Mr. Stinker.
Right.
Why don't you say some things? What I'd like to do, Mr. Stinker, talk with the teams, the former government left in the country in a bad state. And the good things that the PLP have done right now to this day, even say Obama.
Let me ask you a question. Why don't you get the good Prime Minister to come on the talk show and he can say everything good that he wanted to say?
I can talk to him later today and I can ask him. Come on, 'cause he ain't got nothing to hide.
Exactly. And you could come. And you should come with him. You don't want to come with him? No, bring him. No, I'm saying bring him. It's election time. Have him come talk to the people.
But Tinker, be real, man. Say something. I would like you to go down memory lane with these things, you know. Where the country was when the PLC take it over. before.
Right.
And get the facts the way it is today. The VAT money is being later was being done, but they still didn't even that. Thousands of dollars being created as we speak right now. Young people, you and I are all about right now.
Right.
Because the foundation, with Mr. Christy later, the platform, has been put down now. So gradually now, things don't work out for the best of the people. So all these people jumping up on you on link.
I mean, them
all these
people who
big
getting
rallies,
who they
they're
what, who they
wrong.
are to walk
Right.
around.
Right.
The real true Christian believers, the short of what time it is in a short while.
All right.
They
So
disrespect the link.
so you
And
get
you're
yourself.
having a good show, so just continue to do what you have to do, but put good pigs in place to let the people know what the PLP has done good for the country now. Like Bahama, that's a good one he did. National health here. Huh? You understand?
I hear you, LH.
It's happened, man, thing.
All right, man. All right, LH. Thanks a lot, bro. You know, when LH comes to town, he tells it like it is. He tells it like it is. So I'm going to hope that LH brings the honorable member, the Right Honorable Perry Gladstone Christie, into these studios here so we can have a conversation. Listen, I don't owe anybody nothing. I ain't looking for anything from anybody. Just let's have a conversation about the things that matter. We want to touch on the things that hits the pulse of the Bahamian people. I think this election is more pulse-oriented, but so far, ain't nobody tapping the pulse. Everybody just talking a bunch of rah-rah, hoorah, la-la-la-la, blah-blah, and all these foreign tongues, and the people ain't feeling it. We got another caller? Maybe this is Sidney Colley. Yes, Sidney Colley, you're live. Go ahead, sir. Is this Sidney Colley?
No, not sir. Not sir.
All right, how are you doing, sir?
I'm doing okay. I'm going back on comment on what Mr. Ellis has been talking about. They're
All right.
hiring young people now. Why are they just hiring young people now when they was behind them from 4 years ago?
Good point.
Okay. And the Bahama is not that project. That is Southeast Meridian project.
Right,
Okay.
right,
Now
right.
they want to open up the place after the Holy Week and Easter to say they have a legacy. Tell LH, I know him from off Fair Street.
Okay,
Okay?
all right.
Then when he was doing what to do from Bimini and what have you, let him don't talk that. Because he just getting them out now. He just getting them out. Okay? He just getting them out.
All right, well, LH will probably call in to respond to that. Well, thanks for calling in, caller. Take care. Have a good day. Well, I mean, as you heard, you know, people are speaking their mind, and, you know, that's just what this is about. This election is, I really thought it would have been a crazy election in 2017. It was going to be on the forefront of the change that this country wants. But to tell you the truth, with things that have been put forward and policies that have been laid out, I think we're just in for another 5 years, basically. So we'll see what happens. But at any rate, we're going to take a break, and we'll be right back after these short commercial breaks. You hang up?
Uh-huh.
You ready? Welcome back to Real Talk Live. The lines are full. Let's see, maybe one of these is Sydney Colley. Let's go to the line. Hello, is this Sydney Colley? Colley, you're live? Is LH? What's up, my brother? What? Okay. All right. All right. Oh, okay. Right. Well, that's good.
I would like to do the same thing for the young brothers today. You understand what I'm saying?
That's awesome.
Mentor them right now. I feel like right now, the crime not cutting down slowly but surely.
Right.
At the end of the day, Mr. Silver, please start talking about the good things to progress in the room.
Well, why don't you bring me some PLP MPs to have the conversation? The seat's open. I got 3 seats in the studio. No big deal.
I just gotta get a brand to come in and kill everything.
Yeah, or even bring Bernard Knowledge to talk about crime. Whatever you want, LH. This studio is your studio. All right, my brother. I'll 395 1398. All right, LH. Thanks a lot, brother. All right. We have another caller. Caller, you're live. Go ahead. Is this? Hello. All right. If we lost that, could you call back? Next call. Go ahead. You live?
Magali Lady in the Voice along with you.
Good. How you doing?
Mr. Tinker, I'm holding Raymond Darling Ferguson here.
Raymond Dallin Ferguson. Boy, you finally tuned in, eh?
Yeah, but let me show you something. Yeah, I listened to you the other day. I appreciate you being on the show. I didn't know. You said you've been on for about 2 weeks.
Yeah, about 2 weeks, man.
I never knew that.
All right, Raymond Dallin Ferguson. What's happening, brother?
Well, let me show you something. Now, I respect you and I respect your views and I respect your intelligence. Don't ever put yourself in a compromising position because if you do, I will lose respect for you.
I hear you, darling.
And you're a Bahamian. Okay, always remember that. You are a Bahamian. You might have dual citizenship, but you're a Bahamian. And you understand what's happening and you speak truth and facts.
Right.
Okay, and that's what we want to need in this country, especially from a Bahamian. Now, other thing, what what bothers me? When people come on the radio and talk sugar, honey, iced tea.
Sugar, honey, iced tea.
Yeah.
All right.
Look here. The thing is, I'm able to renewal house. When they came there and told me that government sent them to break my place down.
What government? What government?
PLP government.
The PLP government and the Perry Gladstone Christie broke your shack down.
I was living in my place at the time.
You was in there when they pushed it down?
They started breaking it down with me in it and I had to run out.
You was in the toilet or the bedroom?
Say it again?
You was in the toilet or the bedroom?
No, I wasn't in the toilet.
You
I
was
in
in
the bedroom.
And they was pushing your house down.
Yes. Hey, and let me show you something. I think the thing is, they have some drug lords occupying the premises right now.
Right.
Okay? And I've spoken to the Prime Minister about it. He told me he was going to put Stephen Dean on it.
You spoken to the Prime Minister directly or through somebody?
Directly on several occasions. And that's been several years and I haven't got my properties yet. My property yet. Okay?
Did you talk to Stephen Dean? Property back.
That's right.
So as election time coming and you're about to vote, you might get it built back now, eh? What do you think?
Alright, let me show you something. I know who I can vote for yet.
But you vote, you can vote for the person that can build your house back?
I want the property. I don't have to vote for anybody in order for me to get my property. They had done that illegal.
You have deed to the property?
Do I have deed to the property?
Yeah.
Well, not necessarily so.
Now,
Well,
since I'm doing this
This show I gotta figure out because there's about three of y'all. One blind, one cripple, and I forget which one you is.
I'm one of the blind ones.
It's two blind ones.
Yeah.
So,
It's Papa.
so darling, let me just write this down so I can remember. So I can't ask you if you see anything. So you're the blind one, Papa.
Raymond Darling Ferguson.
All right. So you're blind, and Papa is a blind or handicapped.
Papa is blind also.
And
They
who?
got several blind. JD are blind.
Oh, JT is blind too.
Yeah. You got several blind guys.
And another one, you have a crippled one. This one can't walk.
One who can't walk. I can't picture that one.
Oh, you can't picture that. You can't see that one. All right.
No. They got several guys blind though. And the thing is,
I didn't know these guys, all of them are blind. JT is blind also.
yeah,
Wow, and you guys keep up with the news. I mean, I guess you listen to the talk shows a lot, eh?
yeah. And a guy from Soldier Road, he a blind also.
Well, all right, gotcha.
And then the other guy also, one Johnson.
All right, I haven't
All
heard
of
of him.
them call occasionally.
Okay, brother.
But the thing is, right? The thing is, okay. Before several years ago, when the Prime Minister before he took switch, he had copies of my deeds, right?
Right.
The Chinese had swallowed my property and built on it.
The Chinese took your property?
Yeah.
For
So
what they put on it? Chinese restaurant?
well, they had the food store, portion of the food store on it.
A portion of the food. And how did you find it out?
People used to throw garbage on it, and I wanted to fence it in. And when I checked it out, the Chinese had a trail on it.
Right.
So I told them that I wanted them to move the trailer because I want to fence it in because people throw garbage on it.
But they could throw the garbage over the fence.
Yeah, but basically this is what happened. Okay. Now the thing is, it's in the court, so I don't know how far I can go with it. But the thing is, I'll give the Prime Minister.
So let me ask you something. Did you try to speak to the Chinese?
Yeah, we was already the magistrate court.
With the Chinese?
Yeah, not only that, we sat around the lawyer table to try and reconcile it. Not only that, I also went to Public Works to find out how they could give them permission to build on my property. They told me that the Chinese came there and said that he wanted to build join a piece on his building.
These Bahamian Chinese or Chinese from China?
Well, when I could have seen, they weren't Bahamian Chinese. Let's put it like that.
You could have seen them? How did you see them?
In other words, when I could have seen,
Oh, you lost your eyesight recently?
yeah, I lose my eyesight
After the Chinese took your property?
Before they came into the Bahamas.
Oh, gotcha. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So I went to building control,
Right.
asked them, how they can allow Chinese come to the country and build on my property. They told me, this is what they say to me.
Right.
The Chinese came there saying that he wanted to join a piece on his building.
Right.
The reason why they haven't asked the Chinese for documents is because they had a problem at one time.
Right.
My point is, the Prime Minister asked me for my documents years ago before he went to Britain when he had that little stroke, right?
Right.
And when he came back, he had my documents, and after he had that little stroke, I said to myself, I'm going to tell him get him well. Well, he ended up losing the election,
Right.
so I didn't want him about it.
Right.
But the thing is, he allowed those kind of stuff to happen to poor people. And Ellis, I didn't want to call his name, but Ellis got to ease up, man. If he wanted to talk and get on the radio, and it's not like he don't know me. I know I was fighting the situation for years. I got to find all kind of money.
To get these Chinese off your property.
To get sold out.
well, anyway, Bremen, I'm shortly out of time. Go ahead.
Before I go, right?
Ah.
What's your opinion, right? Now, all of these illegals that are in this country, right? We got to help pay their bills, right? Electricity, they're getting free electricity, free water, and stuff like that. And they're ungrateful. What do you think should happen? Because we pay the tax for their water.
I get. Listen, Berman, I gotta let you run, but I gotta call Fred Mitchell on that and see what he can do about that. All right?
All right. Don't compromise yourself.
Yeah, man. All right.
See you.
Thanks a lot. Take care. Well, folks, you just heard a mouthful from Bremen, who supposedly had some Chinese took off of his property. Now, I don't know if they drop a fortune cookie on the side of the property before, and then Bremen read it and it said, we're taking a piece of the property to add on. So I don't know if Bremen ever read that fortune cookie, but he gonna have to work that out with Perry Christian, according to what he's saying. But at either rate, folks, again, I would say I'm quite disappointed today that Scully didn't show up, nor did he call and leave a message. And I said, we're trying to make a better country, man. We have to set standards and examples at all levels of the game. But other than that, I got some homework to do. I got to go and see why these gas stations ain't posting, or we got to find out what type of fuel you guys are pumping. I'm also going to dig further to figure out why fuel is still so high. And really get a breakdown on the dealer fees. Get a more accurate breakdown to this day. And really, if any of these people that are running for office is coming to your door, the talk is about the VAT money. Listen, the VAT money, in a way, doesn't affect your bottom line as much as the tax you're paying on fuel. The tax you're paying on fuel is pretty hefty. I would definitely want to know the breakdown of that and where that money's going, and could you save me some? Because I still think that's extremely, extremely high. But, today we had a little conversation all over the place about this and that. I prepared today with about 100 questions for the FNM chairman on various things on, what the FNM position is on crime and what they're going to do about this and what they're going to do about that. So we didn't get to those questions today, but it's very important. Anybody knock on your door, you need to ask them the questions that are affecting your bottom line. If someone shows up at your door, like we did a show the other day, we talked about minimum wage at $210 in the private sector and $250 in the government sector. I mean, I went with the lowest numbers possible. And every month, the person was in the negative a full week's pay based on the fact that they're just not generating enough money. And based on the fact that when people are not generating enough money, they're going to have this animal humanistic instinct to survive. They're going to do whatever it takes to survive. That survival might be doing something underhanded on the job. That could be maybe finding another job, which is not underhand. But it could be all sorts of different things, because we know we're in double-digit unemployment. We know it's hard for people to get jobs. We know there's a lot of people that are somewhat in an unemployable status. The fact that their skills don't afford them the opportunity to get a job. But what do you do about these people? Do you just leave them out? You just can't leave them out. The society and the economy needs to do something to ensure that they can take part in the bigger community. But you see people with the employability skills to get good jobs that are holding jobs, they're still looking for opportunities to find more money. I mean, if you really look at it, I would say the black market in this country runs more efficiently than the normal market. Because whatever you need done, if you pass some money, it'll get done very fast. And when you try to go the normal route, it takes forever. You can go to any facility today and expedite something with a tip or some lunch money or whatever the case might be. And that's where society has gotten us today, that the integrity in the business environment and the government environment has fell off the block. We talked about business etiquette the other day. Why some businesses have to make 200% profit, 300% profit, selling items to Bahamian citizens that they know for a fact is garbage, that they know for a fact is defective. Some of them know for a fact that it's harmful. But yet, these people sell without a conscience. They go to church They sit on the side of you. They laugh and talk to you. Some of them might be your own friends and your family. But it's a wild, wild west, all you could win environment. You know, I tell you the truth, I don't understand it. I'm still trying to figure out why things are the way they are in this country. But I guess this election will give us some insight to we got a call to whether or not or what direction the people deciding that they want to go into. But the problem is, they were listening to what these parties have to offer. What these parties have to offer. What is the bottom line thing that you're going to offer to push the country forward, to propel the Bahamas? Because if you're still talking tourism and foreign direct investment, you're going to get the same as you've been getting for the last 40 years. If you're not talking about how you're gonna develop the inner cities, how you're gonna bring light industrial jobs and create a different industry, different economies of scale to allow the emergence of Bahamians and other skills to create new millionaires or just a larger middle class. Ain't nothing going on. I mean, if you want the bulk of your population to make $210 a week and $250 in the government sector and keep growing the government and making it extremely large, on the brink of collapsing, on the brink of bursting, because the salaries for government employees is so much that the government can't afford it. That's not growing the economy. That's not growing anything. I think government should start to get in the business of privatizing a lot of government industries. BEC needs to be privatized, in my public opinion. SANS should be privatized. The water department should be privatized. A lot of things should be privatized. Within that privatization, these private companies, what does private company do? They maximize profit. They maximize revenue. They streamline things. They make it more efficient for them to run smoothly, whilst maximizing profits. In that case, you might get better services. You might get a reduction at the pump. I mean, on your water bill, on your light bill, because of the new efficiencies. And these new corporations, or the government could franchise them out, can be then oversighted by the different ministries to ensure that they're giving the Bahamians the best quality and the best customer service that they're due. But at any rate, like I said, we talked about a lot of different things today, and we got about 2 minutes left in the show. And I just want to tell you, don't forget to go by Wendy's and look at the hot and juicy burgers. Wendy's have a quarter, half, and 3/4 pound beef, which is served fresh and straight off the grill. Wendy's has beef. Go by Marco's Pizza, and if you spend $19.99, you can get a large zesty 5-cheese pizza, or a large zesty meatball pizza, and a 2-liter soda. Don't miss out Don't miss out on this deal. Order online, pick up in the store, or dine in with us as Marco's Pizza. Look at the different Marco's Pizzas location. Zesty pizza from Marco's. It's a delicious deal. Also, Wendy's have their premium Nord Cord, which is very crunchy. The cod of the season, crunchy. Our sponsors today were brought to you by Superwash, Kentucky Fried Chicken, Burger King, the Air Conditioning Depot, BTC Stay with the company that connects every island, rock, and key in the Bahamas, National Workers Cooperative Credit Union, Virgo Car Rental, Water and Sewage Corporation, Storm Free Windows, Payment Brew Company Limited, Drink in Moderation, Don't Drink and Drive, Wendy's, Marco's Pizza, Popeyes, Paisley Cosmetics, Experience a Paisley Difference, and DJ Reds is going to find me an awesome Bob Marley song that we're going to end with for the last minute or so. And listen, I'm just stating the facts. I'm just answering the tough questions, or asking the questions that don't want to be asked. And this is how we're going to make this place a more transparent and better place, and by asking the questions that people don't want to answer and most people don't want to even entertain. You know, with that said, it was an awesome Thursday, and hopefully you join us again for another edition of Real Talk Live with your host, Professor Tinker. I'm going to let this song play in the background. You guys enjoy and have a good day. I mean, I wear my awesome suit today to interview Mr. Cawley, and the man is a no-show. I'm upset about that, but I'll get over it. I adapt and overcome. Have a good day. Until time.